Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of POVincent. In today's episode, I'm reviewing John Wick, Chapter 2. When the first John Wick came out, I went to go see it with a friend, and I was expecting it to be decent, nothing great. So naturally, I was surprised and amazed at how good it was, just how awesome the action was, and how cool the world that we were put into. And I gotta say, John Wick 2 does not disappoint. The movie starts out with John. He's just trying to go back into retirement, and it takes place shortly after the events of the first film. In fact, I think maybe right after. But unfortunately, an old colleague of his comes calling for him to repay a debt that is owed. John is once again forced back into the assassin or hitman's life, and things just snowball from there. So because it's an action movie, of course you want to know how was the action. Guys, just like the first one, the action is awesome. The choreography, the hand-to-hand combat, the gunfights, they're all fantastic. And I really gotta give it up to Keanu Reeves in this film. Once again, he went through months of tactical training, learning how to use guns and do hand-to-hand combat, and he looks great. It really just adds to the movie to be able to see that that's really him there and not just a stuntman. I'm sure there are stunt work here and there, but it was really hard for me to tell because it just seems like him most of the time. Keanu also keeps on doing the performance very well. John Wick is a character of few words. He's very subtle. He doesn't say a lot, but you can see below the surface he is just boiling, ready to unleash. And this movie really shows it. Like I said, the action is just as good, in some parts better, as it gets really brutal a lot of points. Common is in this movie, and he does a good job. He plays a sort of rival to John in this film, and they have one damn brutal fight. I gotta say, it's one of the more exciting action scenes in the movie. I mean, it was really fantastic to watch. They were just really beating the crap out of each other. It was exciting, and a few times they made me go, oh, damn! That's the kind of action scene you want to see. Lawrence Fishburne also joins in this movie, and it was probably fun for Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne to be on set together, considering their old Matrix days. His character really doesn't have a ton to do in this film, but he is part of that mysterious underworld that the movie is set in. And his part of it is a little different than what we've seen in the previous film, and to a degree in this film. Shows you that there's some people who play the game just a little different, so it's kind of cool to see a character like that. Ruby Rose is also a villain in this film, and she kind of plays the right-hand person to the main villain. She's interesting because she doesn't talk at all throughout the entire film. Her character is deaf, and she only communicates in sign language. I was probably just doing gibberish right there, so if I sign language, sorry. Sorry. Anyway, Ruby Rose, so yeah, they build her up more and more this entire film because she's always like confronts John in a few places but never really goes against him head to head until later in the very big climax of the film. Unfortunately, I gotta say, as fierce as her fight was with John was, it wasn't as big as I was hoping. They seemed to be, like I said, they looked like they were building her up throughout the course of the film, and honestly, it wasn't as badass as I was hoping. Still really cool, but compared to like some of the other fights in this film, and there are so many, like especially compared to the one with Common, not as exciting. Still keeps you entertained, don't get me wrong, no disrespect, but with all the build-up, I'm expecting a little bit more. Ian McShane returns in this film as Winston, the manager of the Continental. What can I say? I love this actor. He's so suave, man. He fits right into this world. And I hope he'll be back in the sequel, assuming they are going to make one, which I hope they do. The villain of this film is played by Italian actor Riccardo Scamascio. I hope I'm saying that right, especially since I am Italian myself. Really not a whole lot to say about him as a villain. He's pretty straightforward. He's cold and calculating. Everything's business to him. He'll use whoever he needs to gain the power that he wants, even if it's someone he claims to actually care about. But then there are times in the film where he does seem like a cowardly little wimp. Got a few points in the film like, yeah, you... But anyway, he still does a good job with the character. It seems like a really good actor. I have no complaints with him. Finally, I want to say, I just love this world of the John Wick universe. It's just like this really cool secondary world that exists all around us. We don't see that it's there. I mean, we've all seen movies with gangsters and crime bosses and assassins and hitmen, but this one, it just seems like this hidden world that is right there in front of us and we can't see it. filled with cold-blooded killers, calculating men and women of power, and just rules. These rules that's set in the world. Like, I'm sure if you saw the first movie, you know the rule of the Continental. No business on continental grounds. This world only has so many rules, but if you break them, it could be catastrophic for you. And that kind of plays in some of the themes of the movie. Just like in the first movie, there is the theme of vengeance, as John is going around killing anybody that crosses him. He doesn't want them to. He warns them, but when they do, he takes them out. Vengeance. But the other theme of this film is consequences, because John does have to pay back his debt that he owes this character, and as events unfold and, like I say, snowball, there's more and more consequences come piling down on top of him. And I think it adds a little bit more to this film. So anyway, John Wick Chapter 2, I gotta say, I was not disappointed. It was awesome, just like the first one, in some ways even more awesome, and I am so excited for the next one. I would be surprised if they didn't make another sequel. This next one, holy crap. After the events of this movie, I gotta say, it's gonna be apocalyptic. That's the only word that really comes to mind. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave me a like. Tell me what you're thinking down in the comments. And if you really liked it, please click that subscribe button. And I would like to thank you for seeing things from my perspective.